Welcome to Broadcasting Your Side Hustle, where the goal is to help you start a client attraction podcast so you can stand out in your niche, get more business, and step further into your purpose. All right, let's get into it. Second episode. Now we're going to address the question of how do you create consistency? What are your first 5 episodes going to be? This is something, no matter whether you're talking about what to post on social media or thinking about what podcast episodes you're going to do, coming up with those topics, it can be daunting. You know so much. You're an expert in your business and what you do, but still, it's really easy to get bogged down and stuck about what episodes are going to best serve your audience. Well, today, we're going to answer that question for you. Let's get into it. Now, if you listened to the first episode, we touched on what we're going to do to solve this problem just a little bit, and that was around satellite problems. You have the main problem that you solve for people, but around that core issue, there are satellites. There are other things, other little problems that your audience has that they are dealing with. Those satellite issues are your episodes. Let's get into an example of how simple this really can be and how you don't have to stress about it at all. Okay, let's pretend that you are a nutrition expert. You are a nutrition expert. The main problem that you solve is your clients look and feel 10 years older than they actually are. Now, would anybody like to be in that kind of a hole? No. There's so much out there about looking younger, feeling younger, all of this. Nobody wants to look and feel 10 years older than they actually are. That's a big problem. It's a powerful problem that you help solve. But let's also think about what other satellite problems are around that main issue. One could be a sluggish energy level. If you don't feel good, if you feel 10 years older than you are, chances are your energy level is in the gutter. Now, you can talk about that for one of your episodes, a sluggish energy level, and things that you can do to address it and bring it up. Next issue that you can talk about is stiff joints. People that have lack of mobility, you hear people talk all the time. I feel like I'm 80 and I'm only 40. Well, why do you feel that way? Chances are you're also dealing with joint stiffness, a lack of mobility. That could be another episode for you. And finally, dealing with a negative body image. This one actually could be an episode with a bunch of other satellites around it. Like, you can go really deep on this one. These types of episodes, this builds your content. This makes it so easy. All you need to do is just think about the other little satellite problems that are around your main issue. And those satellite problems are your episodes, your first 5 episodes, and boom, done. You've got content for at least a month if you're releasing 1 episode a week. In fact, you've got 1 more in the can for next month if you're doing 5. You can probably come up with more. You could probably come up with a ton more satellite problems. And like I said, with the negative body image, you can go really deep on that one. There's tons of possibilities and opportunities here to build out your content. So there's no need to stress about what episodes are you going to record. Now let's talk about what this actually does for you as the host of the show, as the expert. It does 2 things for you at the same time. Number one, it helps people realize that you are an absolute expert. You are the perfect person to be their guide because you know this issue, you know this core issue inside and out. So it instills that confidence in your listener. The second thing that it does is it helps you meet people where they are. Because people that have these satellite issues and problems, they don't necessarily realize what the main core issue is. They understand that they're dealing with lower energy levels or joint stiffness. They understand they're dealing with a negative body image, but they don't really get the main driver, the main hole that you help them get out of. So what this does is it helps you meet people where they are and brings them in to your ecosystem, which again is what this episode and this podcast is all about, helping you build that client attraction podcast. And just to add more fuel to your confidence about what episodes are you going to come up with, ask your audience. When they listen, when they respond to your posts, ask them, hey, this is the problem that I help solve. What questions do you have around it? They might come up with a question that's you haven't thought of. Now, it's related to one of the satellite problems that you're aware of, but you hadn't heard it maybe phrased that way or presented in that way. But that's another key indicator. People talk and think differently. And if you can help bring that kind of verbiage into your messaging or maybe into the show title, then you're more searchable, you're more discoverable, and you've got audience engagement because you can let them know, I hear you. I heard you. And the next episode that I come out with, we're going to address that topic. That's a way to build community. It's a way to build trust and continuity in listenership, which is what I imagine you want. There you go. There's your formula for the first 5 episodes. Easy peasy, nothing to stress about. If you like this, make sure you tune in for the next one, because we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty about your studio, setting this whole thing up. And what is this? It's a satellite problem. How do you set up your studio? What does it need to look like? How does it need to function? What's the best place to do this? How should I treat the room? All of these questions we're going to talk about and address in the next episode. So make sure you tune in for that. And if you did get value in this episode, all that I ask is whatever platform you're on, give it a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever that platform lets you do. Just let that platform know you found value here and that you want to follow along. And if you do have questions about this whole podcasting space and getting that client attraction podcast started for your business, please address them in the comment sections. I want to know what's on your mind so I can build this out and answer the questions that you need. So again, we can accomplish this mission of getting you out of your 9-to-5 and fully into your business, because you have an amazing flow of leads from this podcast that you are building. Until that time, keep going and peace. I'll see you in the next one.